Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fumbles&Fame. We are an international D&D group made by players for players. Tonight, we are going to play Dungeons & Dragons, Hoard of the Dragon Queen. But before we do that, I will make some quick announcement and some stuff that we have to say. First of all, Fumbles&Fame is not affiliated with, endorsed, and sponsored, or specifically approved by Wizard of the Coast LLC. Well, that ate my tongue, so that's a good thing. That's out of the way. Yes, we are the Fumbles&Fame, and if you know us, we do a lot of D&D stuff here on Twitch. If you don't, we do a lot of D&D stuff here on Twitch. This week, or this weekend, we don't have any more else D&D stuff than this stream tonight, which is great. Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Woohoo! Next week, we will have on the day after Monday. I can't remember the name of it because I always switch the one with the T's in the weeks. But the day after Monday, we will have Dungeons & Dragons online with Ken and Tahina. And that's and a lot of ands. And the 6th of April, that's a Friday, we will have Elemental Bane. That is a homebrew created and made by our own DM Cation. And on April what? On April the 8th, we will have Curse of Strahd with DM Leonie and her third session with an RPG-heavy version of Curse of Strahd. So that's going to be awesome too. So welcome once again to the Fumbles&Fame, and say hello to all my lovely players. Hello.
Hello.
Are you all there? That's great. Well, last time we played, we lost some technical stuff. We lost the sound, so you probably don't know what happened after our break, which is both good and bad. Mostly bad. What happened was that our lovely adventurers, they got through the tunnel, the secret tunnel to the greenest. They have their newfound companion, Grog, a guard of greenest, with them. He was a little brute-ish, so he made a lot of noise and caused a lot of troubles for two left-alone characters from this group, our lovely sea elf and our lovely pirate. But they managed, and they found one of their party members, the one-armed human fighter, Nate. Oh, not Nate, sorry, Barrett. So they are on the river, running through greenest, and they're trying, hopefully, to find the two leftovers from their group. That would be the cleric, Damien, and the bard, Valeron. Unfortunately, Valeron won't be with us today. So let's try to zoom into this setting. As we are around greenest, we see the river flow through the area. We have a rat running through the area, and the rats can see some silhouettes standing from a big sewer hole, so to speak. And as it gets closer, a half-orc person, just brutally as he is, steps on it, squeeze it as it is. You then see, zooming out, that this half-orc takes two kobolds by the neck. They're unfortunately dead. Look back to the rest of his companion and say, "Grog needs to make grog. See you in castle." And we are here with our lovely leftover party members, the sea elf Lear, the human pirate Quinton, and the human warrior, human fighter Nate. Here we are. And you're in.
Is Quentin still unconscious, by the way?
Nope.
No. Okay.
You're not unconscious. You're all on your feet.
Oh dear, not quite sure how to begin this.
Yeah, unfortunately,
That's
you
like-
just found Nate. Oh, you've just found Bear. God damn it. I'm gonna learn your character names again. It's been
Yeah.
so long.
Isn't it? Well, Quinnett's just gonna rub his head slightly and just sort of try and nurse himself back to health as best he can. Go on.
Well, you're up, guys. You're the one standing in the river, beaten up.
Yeah, Bear's gonna drag himself to the shore. Are we still in an entryway to that tunnel, or
Yeah, somewhat.
okay? He's gonna lean against the wall. He's cut and bruised and been carried off, and he's still kind of looking around wild-eyed.
What are you all doing? We have the others to save.
Oh, that's right, from the priests.
No, not from the priests. From the weird lizard thingies.
Well, are we going to a church
Yes.
to save those other people from the evil priests?
No, not the priests. The man said with the hair, he said that we have to not save the priests, save the priests and our people from the lizard people.
From the lizard people, who aren't priests.
No, these things, and then she points to like all the things on the floor that are dead.
Right, so where are the priests? They're in the church.
Yes.
Ah. And he just sort of looks to Bear and goes, so what happened to you?
The
He
ball dropped.
he shakes his head and he pulls the potion out, and he's gonna take a swig before answering. I don't know. 1 minute I was fighting, and the next I was being carried off by these. And he kicks one of the dead kobolds. These bastards.
What is a bastard?
Not now.
One of
I'll
these, and he
expl-
kicks it again.
Okay, well then we must go save the priests from the bastards.
I like her.
That's right. And the bastard priests.
There is no time to lick our wounds. We must press on.
Or anything else for that matter. So they're going to just proceed. I think he's going to wait for somebody else to lead.
Oh, what is the healing potion, by the way? Is it 1d?
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Let's see. How much HP does Quentin have at the moment?
I'm gonna look for you.
Thanks. Just as it
And
stands.
yeah, as you've been told, you can just follow the river and go along the tree line, and then you will find the sanctuary.
Okay, well let's do that then. So we
Right.
travel along the river.
Just gonna find Quentin's stuff. Here you have 3 HP at the moment.
Great. Excellent.
One more than me.
Yeah, you're looking good, everyone.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the guy that gets carried off, I've almost got back to full with that potion.
Okay, well you can
Yeah,
take
you
the lead
are
then.
in the best shape.
You can take the lead.
Yeah, Bear will take the lead for sure.
Yeah. So as
Just
you
to protect.
Cool. So as you walking, you from the spot you're at, you can see, you're starting to see that the bushes and tree line start blossom, starting to appear and get thicker and thicker along the river. So you can sort of use that if you want to not get spotted by anything. But you can still sort of hear the burning buildings, and you can hear the wing flaps from the dragon. There's still fly around the keep of Greenest. If you look to the buildings around the city, you can still see raiders just kicking in doors, setting buildings on fire, and running out with all sort of goods they can find.
They've got the right idea.
So, as you get along to the river, around the spot where the bushes are thickest, you see a kobold lying on the ground with his head bitten off, and you see some ropes and a saddle from the abbess drake you have seen earlier, laying in the ground. There's no abbess drake. There's a kobold missing a head and some ropes.
So, Bear will hold up his good hand just to motion everyone to stop, and he's going to examine the rope. And I imagined that I can tell that the creature probably escaped or bit the head off of that and then ran.
Probably
I rolled a
got
4
tired.
on perception.
Well, don't roll anything to tell you. But anyway, yeah, it probably looked like that the abbess drake probably got a bit tired of the kobold sort of hushing on it, so it kind of probably just bite the head off it and ran away.
Does this creature breathe water?
The kobold with no
No,
head?
no, the other one.
The abbess drake?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, I can't speak to it.
Nope. Not unless you're no draconic.
No, I do not.
And
Do
it's
you know
missing?
fish? What? Yeah, you can see. You can. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not here.
Okay.
You see some rope and a sort of saddle. That the kobold probably have been sitting on.
Does,
Beryl grabs some of the rope. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, does the kobold have any pockets?
Not really.
Doesn't have a pouch
Yeah,
or anything?
he has a pouch, yes.
Excellent. I think Quintus is just going to kneel down and search his pockets.
Yeah, you find. You can roll the investigation check.
Investigation. And that's a -1 to this. Great, 5. Good start to the day.
You find something that you might think is kobold underwear, but you're not sure. They're sort of torn and a little too high sitting on him, but that's pretty much it.
Quite
Yes.
stained.
Might come in
Probably.
handy. Kobold underpants. Excellent.
Yes, write them on the character sheet.
Marvelous. You never
Bear
know.
sees you do this and wishes he didn't.
Can
Yeah.
can you roll me a perception check? It's the ears. 14. You hear a sort of muffled noise from the bushes, sort of.
Okay, I go to look to see where it is because I'm clearly not interested in the headless kobold.
Or it's underpants.
Well, as you walk closer to the bush, you see 2 very big feet sticking out of the bush.
Okay, I pull on its feet to drag it out
You
of the
pull-
bush.
Roll me a strength check.
Athletics, yeah?
Yeah, just a regular strength.
Oh, a regular strength. Okay, that's different.
You can use athletics. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
14. Rolling lots
14.
Of
All right. You managed to. It's a heavy person, and as you get the person more and more out of the bush, you see it's Damien, bound with he's with a piece of chalk. No, not chalk, with a piece of wood in his mouth.
Healer man, this is no time for nap.
Upon hearing this, Beryl run over and help if he's tied up, help cut any ropes or anything like that.
Yeah, you can easily do that.
Yeah, Gwendson just sees this and he's just sort of shakes his head like, molested by kobolds. A most dire fate.
You would think that the block of wood would be the first thing he'd pull out, but he gets the ropes off first and then pulls the wood out of your mouth.
Well, Damien, here you are. You're back.
Thanks.
So, you see your party members, they are quite beaten up. Not Barbare, he looks okay, a little scratch here and there. But Leah looks like she has been used as a boxer, as a punching ball. And Quentin, he looks like a, what's that called?
Death?
The one you use, yeah, the one you use when you sew to the needles. He looks quite stabbed everywhere.
And Beryl reaches his arm down and help pull you to your feet, too.
With his good hand, obviously, he won't offer you his stump.
Yeah.
We can probably assume that.
You would fall back down. This isn't that show.
He will nod
It's great.
and take his hand and stand up.
So he'll nod at you. Like, yeah, bros.
Broody bros.
So you're together. And Damien, you're quite confused because you just got knocked out and now you're laying in a river. And yeah, here you are.
I'm gonna look around at all the kobold bodies. I'm gonna look for the one that I saw dragging me.
You're gonna look what he have?
I'm gonna look at the one that I last saw and I'm gonna kick it.
You can do that. That's an easy task.
Healy man, where is the pretty one?
She's still in the castle. You left her there.
Right. I'm right here.
No. The singy one. The one with the music.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Ah, the one that the dandy music man who puts his ethereal hand over me. That one, yes?
Yes. guess
I
so.
swear if they harm a single hair on his head and he pats his mace, or his flail.
Well, he's got plenty of those to go around. How would you know if he harmed a single hair on his head? How would you be able to tell?
The bear just sighs a little bit and just says, it's a saying.
Oh.
We asked the question, Damien. But unfortunately, you actually don't know. You were knocked out. But you can tell the players.
He'll just shake his head.
Right, well, now that that's sorted, I want to go have a nap.
For once,
Well,
Quentin, you do not say something stupid.
Well, you can have a short rest if you want. Short rest if you want. I mean, it's totally up to you guys. Right now, you're sort of in cover of the bushes. Both of the sides of the river has bushes around it and trees, so you're not that easily spotted. But yeah, it's up to you.
No, we'll press on.
Okay. Well, as you get along the river, you come to this area where the tree stops and the bushes still continue, but you can see this half wall, sort of brick half wall, and you see the big building, the big church building. And as you walk there, you can all roll me a perception check.
24.
Also, I want to say that Damien's going
With
to
a nat 20.
bodies with him.
Nat 20. All right,
Got a
everyone.
1.
Just gonna add 10 XP to all of yours.
20,
All right.
20, not natural, but 20.
And Quentin?
13.
13. All right.
Call that a dirty 20, Sean.
A booby 20.
A BB20.
And what did you get, Nate? Sorry.
I rolled a 1, so I imagine Bear is really, really thinking back on the whole getting carried off, and he's in his own head for sure.
He's stuck in his PTSD moment.
Yeah, probably. Well, the guys, the one of you who rolled over 15, you see that this big church, there a sanctuary as it actually is. There are in the front of it, you can see a big group of raiders. There are a bunch of kobolds, and there are two of these human cultists three of these human cultists looking persons with a sort of a tree lock, and they're using that as a battering ram to sort of break into this church. There's also another person who looks pretty much like he's the one in charge of all this. He sort of yells of all the others. And in the back of the church, you can sort of, or the sanctuary, you can sort of see these this other group of kobolds. You cannot really. I mean, the only one that's actually able to see this group is actually Leah, because there's a lot of smoke around them, and they're trying to set the back entrance on fire to get in that way. But they're using straws and easy flammable things, so it makes a lot of smoke. And around the corner, as you pull your head out, you see this very, very large group of kobolds and an apostrake and some cultists. They're sort of walking around. So
how far away is the people making fire?
Around, let's say, 80 feet.
Okay. And how close is the nearest bunch of enemies?
The nearest bunch of enemies are the one with the battering ram. They are around 60 feet from you.
Okay.
I mean, all in all, we have, let's see, around 30 enemies or raiders in this area.
Okay.
As you're standing there, you see the group with the apostrake around the next corner, so they sort of have the back to where you are. They're not really, they haven't really spotted you at this point. They start to walk up. You see, you can sort of imagine that you have a door in each end of the building. The main door and the back door. That's easy. And then the group that's circling, they have just turned from the front door where you're at this point to walk towards the back door. So they're quite close to you at this point.
Okay. 30 feet from where we're hiding, I want to cast Shape Water, but I want to make it like a humanoid shape. And I want it to make lots of noise to catch attention. Not where we are, because it's 30 foot away.
All right, so at this point you're behind some bushes, behind a wall, and then from the wall to the building there's approximately 30 feet.
Okay.
And for you to the wall there's probably 20 feet or something like that.
Okay.
And you're closest to the group, the larger group of the one at the front entrance.
Okay. I still want to make a humanoid to make a distraction to try and lure some of them away.
Yeah, you can do that.
Excellent.
So what are you doing?
I'm using Shape Water to
Yes.
make a simple shape. The simple shape is a humanoid body.
Yes.
5 foot in size. And that is 30 feet away from us, so like to the east somewhere. And
It would. At this point, that would drag them towards you.
Oh, would it?
Because you can only reach. If you look at the map,
I don't have a map.
you can. All right. Imagine you have bush,
Yeah,
wall,
yeah,
building
yeah,
here in front of building.
yeah.
The large group you can see from around we're at 40 meters, 40 squares, 40 feet. You can make a shape here, so that would drag these over
Okay.
here,
Oh, I want to
and
make.
you're here.
Okay, I want to make a shape. Move your finger up to
Yes.
where your head is. Up,
What?
up. Move your hand up. Up, 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 up. That's about 30 feet. I want to make the shape that.
You better get Fantasy Grounds working by next session, mate.
It
As
is
much as I'm
working.
As much as I'm loving the charades.
I mean, the point that would probably be 80 feet away from you to
Okay.
do that.
Alright.
So
That's not gonna work.
that's pretty far away from you.
Okay, that's not gonna work then. I'm out of
The clo-
ideas.
You can now see the big group there turning to the corner with the smoke, and as you see that, you can see that they're coughing a lot, and you're not sure what they're doing. You can see they're sort of yelling to each other, fumbling a lot with the rear door or the rear gate there. And they're out of your sight.
Do there look to be any windows, anything like that?
Yeah, there are some, but they're a bit high. I mean, Damien could probably reach with his hands, but they're not that big. I mean, you would have to really squeeze to get in.
The group of enemies that just walked away, were they kobolds?
They were let's see. That group contains. Let's see. Give me a second. That's not the one. This is the one. 10 kobolds, 2 apostrix, and 3 cultists.
Can I
This is the
see
one
from
that
here
just
what?
turn around the corner.
Can we still see the leader from here? Can I see what he looks like or what he's got
Um,
going on?
Yeah, you can sort of see him. He is, what does he look like? He have greater armor than the others. He has a helmet shaped as a sort of a dragon's face. And he sort of, he looks like he's just standing there yelling commands to the 3 other humans that holds the battering ram or the 3 log used as a battering ram to get into the sanctuary. And then there are 6 kobolds sort of in a half circle around them, sort of holding guard, keeping guard.
Bear's gonna point that leader out to everyone else and say, we've got to take that one alive, at least until we can figure out what their aim is.
Do any of the people that the enemies look familiar? Like, were any of them involved in the kidnapping of us, or have we seen them, or have they seen us before?
Or has Bear specifically recognized any from his village? That's a good point. Thanks for reminding me about that.
Roll me a perception check, you two of you.
Natural 20, so 25.
17 plus insight, -1, 16.
Well, within Nate, you as the point you see, there's no one that you recognize from your city, from your town where you came
Good for
from.
them, because
Yeah, exactly. Sean, your question again, just to be sure.
I was wondering about, are any of them enemies of the 30 that we're looking at? Do any of them look familiar? Like, have we run into them before? Have they seen us? Were they involved in the kidnap of me and Bear? And
No, all the ones that were involved with the kidnap of you guys, if you can see, and from the corpses that you've just been seeing, are dead. And you didn't see all of them, and no one in there seems familiar at all.
all right, and they're trying to break into the church.
Yeah. And as you stand there, you see the big group. They're turning around the corner to the front part, where the closest part to you is the front part with the one with the battering ram, and they're sort of in that area now, around that corner. So,
Do I see any
yeah.
wagons around in any of the side roads, anywhere that...
No, I mean the thing you actually see is this wall. You can half man-sized wall. You can see all. It looks like it's all around the perimeter, and then you can see all this. My bad. You're in the back. You're closest to the area with smoke.
How close?
It's the same length. It's just the other door, not the front door. But you can hear the front door. So you can just see the smoke and hear the cultists and kobolds coughing and trying to make this door burn. And then you still see the Abyss Drake and the big team going around the corner, sort of shaking their head because they're not really good at this putting this building on fire, because it's made of bricks, so it makes sense, but they're still trying.
Bear just says, well, if we had a cart, I could ride by in a distraction and maybe draw some of them off, but I don't see any equipment.
Well, they don't seem to be doing much good. Maybe we should just wait for them to give up.
Damien in Draconic, because he's not paying attention, is going to say, join them.
Say what?
Whoops.
Say what?
You didn't hear that?
Yeah, they didn't hear the thing that you want to say in Draconic.
Oh, in Draconic, he's going to say, join them.
To who are you saying that to, and how loud?
He's just talking to the ones around him, just loud enough for them to hear.
All right. So all of you hear some sort of humming, brumming. None of you probably understand.
No.
So
Bear probably just thinks he burped.
Yeah, I mean it was short worded, so it could probably sound like a weird burp. So, suggestion: you want some?
Go then.
If you want some, I mean, you see this back door. There's a lot of smoke, and the guys there doesn't look like they're. I mean, Leah, you can obviously see this. Looks like they know what the fuck they're doing, and they're sort of fumbling around and walking into each other, not sure who's who and all that.
Right, does anybody have a disguise?
What?
No?
Trying to figure out a good way to like draw them
I have
away.
no idea.
There's
All I
a
know
huge
is-
group, right, on the other side.
Well,
All I know is I got 3 HP, so I gotta fight him.
I've
You-
got 60 foot of spell.
I mean, you can go closer. You have a pretty good opportunity to sneak closer to this because you have the wall around the area.
Okay.
Would it put me 60 foot closer?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can go around. Just a second. Can you hold on because I have someone crying.
So 2 seconds.
Entertain the audience.
Are we able to talk to each other in character still?
I'm sure if we whisper, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So Damien again is going to whisper, this time in common, join them.
What? Bear's completely confused. What do you mean, join them?
They don't know who we are. Easy way in.
Oh, out of character. Are you just saying like,
He's pretty much saying that you guys can fool them into trying to help them to keep tabs on them.
Back at the river, we killed some cultists. Perhaps we can take their clothing and their headgear and disguise ourselves.
Damien will nod.
Not a bad idea. And
you're
I'm back.
asking me to? There's no way I could don their symbols. After what they've done, and he gets his voice just a tiny bit, maybe almost too loud.
Well, you do not have to. These two can.
The easiest way to destroy something is from the inside.
He sighs. He looks down. He thinks about it for a minute, and he starts shaking his head like he's conflicted about it.
Nate, roll me a d20 with your intelligence modifier. Let's see. I can see if I can find some better stat. We actually planned something with his PTSD.
12.
And that would be plus what?
Plus 0.
Yeah, but you can add your proficiency to that roll.
Oh, then 14.
That's great. Nate, you sort of catches yourself in your anger and frustration with all this, with all your hatred, and sort of see that this might actually be a good plan, and this might actually make this easier for you to get your revenge.
Okay. So yeah, he seems conflicted, but he keeps nodding, and then he's like, "Destroy from the inside, huh? No, you both have a point. And he looks at Leah and he says that's a smart idea." He's sweating a little bit. He's just like rubbing his forehead, closing his eyes.
Leah's gonna try and head back to the river to go strip the bodies of the two cultists we killed earlier.
Yeah.
And there was only two, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's rest was kobolds.
Okay.
Now the next part is going to be the most dangerous part. There's only two cultists, and Damien's way too big to don their clothing, so the rest of us are going to have to pose as prisoners.
So as you see Leah sort of disappear in the water, it almost looks like she's swimming through the water, even though it should be merely impossible. You have a few moments for yourself. What are you guys doing over in... It's noisy.
Sorry, Jason had some tinfoil. It's making
Ah.
thunder sounds.
Are you making a tinfoil hat?
Yes.
Great. Well, as you stand there, the two of you sort of keeping track, can you two make me a perception check?
Not Leah, yeah?
Oh,
No, you're swimming.
Okay, cool. I'm having
And-
fun then.
So
I don't know if it's related, but Bear would definitely be keeping an eye out for that lizard. He didn't want that to jump up and bite him. But he's got a 2 for his perception, so
and me, right?
What do you got, Damien?
I got a 13.
13.
So Bear's just sitting there psyching himself up to put on this armor he really doesn't want to put on. So he's just like in his own head again.
Yeah, Damon, you sort of notice that the group, the big group of kobolds cultists and the two drakes, they have a 2 minutes, 3 minutes gap, or it takes around 2 to 3 minutes before they have made a round around the building, the perimeter. And as you stand there, you sort of hear this small splashes in the background, and Leah swiftly emerged from the water with a lot of clothing in her arms.
Okay, so which two will wear the outfits?
Oh no!
Damien's gonna look at one and just shake his head.
Oh, that looks a little bit too tight around the crotch, Sugar Fins.
So Leah's going to take one for herself and then she's going to offer the other one to Bear.
Bear will reach out to take it, and then he'll glance down at his arm, and then back at the costume, and then he'll whisper, "Am I really the best one for this type of situation?" And he'll motion to his arm. "I think they might spot me."
Leah points to Gwendolyn. You really want that idiot wearing this?
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Okay, he'll begrudgingly grab it and start putting it on. Hearing that,
I want to look at Quentin real quick. How big of a person is he?
He's not that big. He's about sort of 5'11", 5'10".
So the windows
average height.
the windows that we saw, I could easily pick Quentin up to put him in through a window.
Yeah, you'll have to break the window first, and that will probably make some noise. And
Oh,
Quentin
it's-
is pretty beaten up too. But yeah, you can toss him like a dwarf.
I was thinking it was like a window that you could push up, like modern windows, not up.
No, imagine sort of. I'm not sure if I can say classic church windows. They're not like open closer with the small images and colored glass and all that.
So stained glass windows don't have latches. They don't, do they?
No, they
No.
They're not designed to open. They're not
Not
designed
usually.
to open. What if they need to get some fresh air in
They
there?
don't. It's a church. It's
Ah.
full of God.
And
They don't want to let the
all
god
the-
out. Yeah.
All the windows that we see are sealed. None of them are broken already.
Not at this moment.
these kobolds are dumb.
Yeah,
Sure.
don't
Yeah,
go.
short.
So
they're
They're
short.
short. They can't even they can't reach the window, so they wouldn't even
Yeah,
think about it.
I mean,
they can make a kobold ladder.
I mean, the
Knock
only
us out.
one of you that's probably maybe able to reach those windows is Damien. And
That
he
way
is
is
high as fuck.
Yeah.
They're not tall, not high.
I'm like a human ladder.
Okay, so Leah's got her costume on. She's going to tie up with the rope that Bear got from the dead kobold. She's going to like faux tie up the others.
All right. So you're using those as prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Quentin will whisper as he's getting tied up. If it all goes wrong, kick them in the balls, like I taught you.
I'd like
Yes,
to,
to-
before we run out there, I'd like to examine Leah's costume and also the ropes and just make sure I don't see anything that we should change. But just because you're a sea elf, so it'd be really hard to. I just want to make sure our disguise is like at least good enough to get close.
What skill should we use for that? What skill should we use for that?
You're just like assessing the.
Give me a deception.
Either
Yeah.
of us?
Yeah, both of you.
Does somebody have bless?
Oh.
+1. Come on.
Where's
15.
my deception? I also got a 15, but both the +1.
They're dumb, at least.
Well, you both are quite sure that you could fool these people. I mean, you both look at each other and sort of have the feeling of, yeah, you look like an asshole.
I'm imagining they like wear masks because like Leah's blue.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
they have sort of a hooded thing.
Okay,
Not like the guy you can see up in the rear end of the sanctuary with the dragon helmet, but something
Okay, so
kind of. Just a quick question for you guys. Your plan is to walk up to a group of people that are trying to get into a church with prisoners.
I was just what if the thing that I guess I was thinking too is what if they take the prisoners and want to put them elsewhere? I don't know.
I mean,
It would probably be smart enough.
we're walking up in the attempt to find somewhere where there's not a lot of people, and then maybe we can be shoved through a window.
Okay.
Like, because like you know they can't really see us. We can see them. We'll be disguised. Maybe we can find like a nice quiet bit with a window.
Okay. So we're not going to be like, hey, we found these prisoners. Let us into the church.
No,
I
we're
gotcha.
just gonna like walk up, try and be inconspicuous with prisoners.
Oh, perfect.
And we'll be
So
like, we'll take them somewhere, and then we'll go find somewhere quiet. That was my thinking.
They say plan is too strong a word, really.
I mean, just a quick idea
Okay.
before you maybe get yourself killed. I mean, these kobolds and cultists are not the brightest people, and there are 6 of them in a lot of smoke, not able to see much, and they might be easy to persuade to go to the front. And Damien, you should probably tell the others that you know there's a pattern to the big group.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. So
Just some information that you probably need for this.
Yeah, so Damien will tell them it takes them about 2 minutes, roughly, to walk around the church during their rounds. Do they look stupid, or like?
I mean, kobolds are kobolds. What you have seen at this point, they don't look like they're the brightest creatures in the world, and I mean, it's kind of a fight or flight creatures, and they mostly tend to flight when they get their ass beat. It's what you know of kobolds, and the cultists you have seen are just fanatics. What you know at this point.
So Beryl closed his eyes for a second, thinking, and opened them, and he's thinking back to his days in the militia when the sergeant, during drills would just scream at you, and you did what that sergeant said. And he looks at everyone and he says, I have an idea.
Good.
I'm glad somebody does.
The soldier is starting to think like a soldier.
Hey, I'm the one that had the idea of the disguises.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Leah did.
Okay, well, I had a beginning idea.
Thanks to Leah's cunning plan, this should go over really well, he
Don't
says.
say the word cunning plan. We're doomed.
So, what are your plans?
So Beryl explained that the others should follow behind, and the prisoners for now should kind of stay to the smoke, perhaps. We'll have them trail behind us a bit, and then he will kind of walk out and command them around the front and tell them that we've got forces coming from elsewhere in the town to take care of this, and that they're to report back to the garrison or back to the barracks or something.
Or back to the dragon.
Right.
Shout up at him.
They're needed back at
Alright.
camp. They're needed back at camp for something.
Okay, well, Leah has a very
Alright.
strong accent, so she's not going to do that.
And Beryl say that he's been in the military type of situation before, and that he could probably pull it off. He's been screamed at loads,
Have you
Yeah,
been
but-
studying have you been watching Full Metal Jacket lately?
right?
Yeah, but the thing is, they're not soldiers. They're fanatics, so they're not going to operate like soldiers. So that might be something that stands out for them.
But
Oh,
they'll respond to authority, is what Barrett
And-
says.
for you guys, you can sort of feel all of you in your belt pouch or in your belts or whatever you have around your waist. It sort of gets a little heavier, just like an instant, and you sort of in your ears hear the name, a beholder's worst fear, and you have something in your pocket. And let's say thank you to a beholder's worst fear for party potions.
Well,
Oh,
hey,
nice, thank you.
They need it.
1d4 plus 4. What was that?
2d4 plus 2.
That was a 2d4 plus 2.
Yes.
Excellent.
Right, let's just.
Now I have 2 potions, but I also have the. I'm a life cleric, so I get bonus using them, don't I?
You're the life cleric.
Yes, I am.
Do you get
Well,
2
it's-
swigs?
The very minimum I can do will take me to full health. That's great. Right, thanks, Beholder's for worst.
Yeah, I get to add. Or no, I get the. I also have the healer feat, so I get to add. What was it? I forget.
You sort that out and tell me what your HP is. And all right, great. So thanks, Beholder. Worst fear. That's awesome. They needed it.
Jill runs down Bear's spine as he rubs his hand against his belt and he thinks to himself, did I not drink that? Must not have.
I just got this.
But he'll tell everyone, we should be all right if you follow my lead. If anything goes wrong, I'll hold them off and go down fighting if I have to let you all
Right.
live.
All right.
Right.
So the plan is for
An additional 3 HP on the potions that I use.
sweet. So you're around full health now. Full health, right?
Yes,
What if you
I'll
feed
be at
potions
full
to
health.
us?
Even if I roll minimum, I would be at full health.
Great.
Nice.
And Leah, your question?
What if he feeds the potions to us? Will his healer feat work then?
Yes.
Okay.
But it has to be
Yeah,
spoon-fed
well,
to you.
I'm a life cleric, so administering potions properly would be something I would know how to do.
Okay.
The dice told me yes. So
Right, so we've got plus 3.
so the plan is that if I'm to be sure that Bear and Lear are dressed as cultists at this moment, and they're going to walk up to this group covered in smoke and tell them to report back to wherever they're from.
Yeah, they need to report back to their camp. We have another garrison coming to bust this door down, and they are needed elsewhere. And he'll
Alright.
scream it at them like, get the fuck out of here. You know, like a drill sergeant.
That sounds as a good plan.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So yeah, I guess that your time it as the big team is turning away from you. Yeah, great. So you get up to the smoke and you hear all the. Come on! We need to set this on fire. we need to get all the. Oh Jesus! We need to get all of this.
Just for
nice
flavor,
stuff. Yeah.
just for flavor, he's going to start out by screaming, "You idiots! You can't burn stone!" And then he's going to go into a spiel about how they need to get out of here. We've got another
Yeah,
garrison with a battering ram.
go with it, keep it going.
Leah's
You
gonna-
can't burn stone! Report back to camp at once. The garrison is coming with a battering ram, you morons. And he'll point for them to get.
I will let you choose yourself. You can either choose performance or deception, and you will have advantage on that.
Ooh, sweet. Any chance he'd let me use intimidation?
Ooh.
Yeah, you can use that because
Saying it in an intimidating way.
no,
And
I
with
don't.
advantage, so.
I don't want mechanic dice. I want you to roll dice.
Oh, like real dice? Like in-person dice?
Yeah, we hate the system.
I've been using FG fucking dice this whole time. I'm sorry.
No, you shouldn't be.
All right, 1 second.
1.
Someone didn't bring
I-
their dice.
I did bring them.
Uh-oh.
You
No,
had
I've-
one job.
So, good thing it was advantage because the first one was a 1, but then I ended up getting a 13 altogether with a 14. I'm sorry, with my pluses with the advantage.
All right. You sort of hear this in the smoke, and quite quickly afterwards, sorry, and you sort of see this kobolds just scattering out as quick. There's almost like shadows. They're so fast out, just running for it. And you see these two cultists sort of stumbling out with straws in their hands and
I'm still yelling at them the whole time, taking a swipe with my feet, like, don't waste time apologizing, go!
And you see them look very confused and just start running.
Good. I wanted to send them off running. That's perfect.
Right.
So,
What now?
So look to the group and wink.
Leah's gonna want to deal with this fire.
there's pretty much no fire. It's just a shitload of smoke.
Well, Leah's gonna want to deal with this smoke 'cause she doesn't like that either. It's making Noel feel dry and crispy.
Are you sure it's a good idea?
No, I'm not, but at least she does.
Okay. Go for it.
Leah's gonna want to cast frostbite on the singed, smoking crap. They've left it at the door.
All right. So as you do that, you can sort of hear the of when fire is burned out. There's these coals with red stuff in it. I can't remember the English name for it, but
Embers.
Embers.
embers. There it was. You hear the familiar sound of probably not you, Lear. The others hear the familiar sound of embers getting poured water and ice on them, so the sound it makes, and the smoke slowly. It isn't gone yet, but it's sort of evaporating.
Okay, cool. So we should at least be able to see each other now.
Can someone roll me a perception? All of you. It's up to you guys.
10.
19.
5.
7.
And the last.
Oh, I got a 10. I don't know if it came through.
Well, the three of you that got lower than 15, you're not quite certain of time, but Damien, you are quite sure that you probably only have around a minute and a half left to the big group is probably turning around the corner.
We need to hurry fast.
Right. Quinton will go up to the door and he'll knock.
There is you can only hear sort of mumbling and crying, not really any response.
Is the door like locked or is it barricaded?
It's yeah, you can try to open it.
Okay.
Are there any windows
Doesn't move.
stuff of this built in the front that are broken?
Nope.
So is this big group coming around, like patrolling the building, or are they just, what are they doing?
The patrol is coming.
Okay.
Leah's going to go up to the door and she's going to say to them, "Let us in. We are here to help."
Roll me a... What would that be? Persuasion. Yeah. Come on, roll good.
13.
13. All right. Well, you hear this this voice. Who are you?
We are travelers. We saw the city being attacked and we have come to help. I can't remember his name. The short man with the red hair sent us.
Did Escobar send you?
I think that was his name, yes.
You hear this sort of a big wooden stuff just get tossed around, and then the door sort of squeaks open. And you see this frightened two eyes and half of the face looks, and the second the person realizes.
Leah's gonna push off the cultist hood so you can see that she's a blue elf.
Damien's gonna say, not much longer till the patrol comes. We have to get inside or leave.
The second that the person that's sort of peeking out sees that you're not a cultist, not a real cultist, sort of nearly pull you guys in, all four of you, and then slams the door and starts putting up benches and all the stuff that was on the wall, on the door.
Barrel pull his hood down and start helping with his arm, his good arm, and he'll start pushing what he can in front as well.
Damien will also start helping barricade it. Are there any pews left?
What?
Are there any pews in the church? The benches?
Pews,
that-
benches.
Yeah, there is some in the rare NVP where you see a lot of people sort of sit and hold on to each other and cry and look very frustrated. And you also now noticed this big hammering noise. And you can sort of see the doors and the other end of the church sort of vibrating, very heavy.
Are they in bad shape, or are they holding?
I mean, they don't look hurt. They just look very, very scared.
No, I mean, are the
doors.
doors damaged, or are they holding well?
They look quite heavy damage. They don't look like they're gonna hold for they're not gonna hold that not much longer.
Is there any holy water around?
Roll me a perception check.
17.
Yes.
Okay.
You see the middle, the sanctuary. There's a sort of altar with a lot of whatever is on that, chandeliers. No, is it called chandeliers? No, that's from the ceiling.
Candelabras?
Yes, those
Leah,
standing on there. And then you see a sort of a bowl from the ground of stone, and there's water in that. I mean, like a regular church. That's the best way for me to explain it.
Leah doesn't need much water. Any will do. She's going to use that and use shape water to freeze the door, and obviously to kind of like help with the barricade on the front doors that are damaged.
Reinforce
Nice.
that.
Yeah, reinforce it.
Oh.
Buy us some extra time.
Meantime, Quentin's going to place his hands on his hips and just sort of... Right, who's in charge here?
As you say that, you see some of the townfolk look up and sort of everywhere, and then look over to a guy in a nice tunic, and sort of he looks like a priest, and he looks over to you. That would be me.
Right. Are there any secret passages out of this place?
Unfortunately, no. I mean, we only have the front gate here, and the front door, and the back door. That's the only we have.
Once
Right,
they see
right.
the
The patrol takes about 2 minutes to get around. Maybe we could get everybody out through the back door while they're focusing on the front.
As you're standing
once
there,
they see we've sent their. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
as you're standing there talking, you hear this big again, and you see the eye sort of splinter.
Leah's doing her best to like smooth everything over. She's just like,
I'll be right
He's gonna
back.
walk over to a pew that's not being occupied, and he's gonna grab it, and he's gonna go help barricade the door with the pew.
Yeah,
DM's just had to disappear for a second.
When you start to do that, Bear will help you as best he can. Once that goes down, we can prop him up against it.
I'll tell you what, these are the
And-
worst nights to stop smoking.
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
like so stressed. Like my e-cig is not working. I've already filled it twice.
I think. Oh, I just lost it. Hang on.
Get it back.
Oh yeah, and Bear would mention. He says once the patrol rounds the way and they see that we've sent off their companions in the back, they'll probably post a guard. So we need to be aware of that when we exit. They'll know something strange is up when they're not there.
Maybe they won't know. They're only kobolds.
How are
a
you
good
guys
point.
feeling?
Tired. Leah says she's like manically trying to fix
We
the
need
door.
to fight. Can you guys stand and fight?
Sorry about that.
No problem. Sean was wanting to use some pews to barricade the front door, and I would help him as well.
Yeah, you can.
Or, sorry, Damien.
That's fine.
You can do that. You, start lifting and putting the benches and whatnot over there to try to barricade it more.
As I'm grabbing the pews and stuff, I also want to look at the people that are in their church. Are there any able-bodied or people that look like they're able to fight?
Not really. I mean, there is a couple of male farmers, but not much. There's a lot of children and a bunch of women, and then there's this priest person.
All right, because I have an idea.
Yes.
All right, so Damien's going to explain his idea to the people. What we need to do is get the able fighters up to the front. We're going to take these pews and we're going to put them on the sides of the doors to narrow them in. And then we're going to let them break the doors down and funnel them in while the able-bodied men sit in the front and take them out. I'll cast Sanctuary on the people behind us so that the ranged attack and spells have a chance of failing.
You really want to fight
The
26 enemies where 2 of them is Abystrix and 1 is sort of a commander? I'm just asking.
I see. We use the civilians as a human shield while we make our escape. I like this plan.
Not an option.
I mean, it
Not
is.
an option at all.
It's totally an option. I mean, everything is possible. I'm just stating how many people you have seen walking around out there.
There's a lot.
And Actually,
Yes, that's
Go
why
ahead.
I'm suggesting funnel them in because they won't be able to all fight side by side. We have a spellcaster. We have a couple spellcasters. We have able-bodied men.
if this were a last stand situation, I would agree with you, Barrett says, but this is not a last stand. We need to get them out. We can't fight here.
I can slow them down by making. Ah! She tries to force her will. I can slow them down by making the path slippery. If everyone goes first and I am last, I can slow them down. They will not be able to walk on ice like I can.
I will not leave you behind, so if you're staying, I'm staying.
I will not be staying. I will just be the last one out.
Damien, you can hold the door while she does that, and then you can assure she is out.
Right.
As you look at the gate, and as you look at the front gate, the front doors, you still see the eyes holding up and keeping the door intact, but you see the framing slowly just getting pushed in.
Can I try and use ice to glue that back?
We have those pews there too. Maybe you could ice the pews.
Yeah.
I'm metagaming.
Ice-
Bear would suggest
Ice
maybe.
everything.
So the back door at the moment, that isn't being pounded on. I assume the back door.
No, at the moment, there's nothing happening there. You can still sort of see a little, not much, a little smoke coming in from underneath the door, but it's very light.
So Quentin's actually just gonna, while everybody's planning, Quentin's gonna just go at the back door and press his ear to it. Does he hear anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Great. All right, come on. Let's have a good roll. 11.
As you start listening there, you sort of hear this rumble first, and then you hear the sort of voice. Where did the others go? What happened here? I'm gonna make sure they're gonna get killed from this. Come, we need to go around and tell the others.
That's amazing.
Quentin just says like, I don't think there's anybody here now. I think we should start running. And they have a dog.
So I'm gonna tell the villagers to make for the river, and we're gonna follow it towards the keep, and to keep up with us. And then I'm gonna tell Quentin, when you're ready, let's go.
The back of the party, just in case anything catches up.
All right.
We're gonna make
So
a run
that's
for
when
it.
you-
Yeah, we're gonna make a run for it.
You're gonna make a run for
We're
it.
gonna make a run for it.
Alright, Quentin's gonna just open the door very slowly and slowly, just to have a peek. Ready to close it. Just
Leah's gonna start. What's that bit in the middle of the church? I clearly need to go back to church.
Jesus.
That bit, the alleyway in the middle between the chairs. Leah's just gonna start icing
The aisle?
that to us. Yeah, the aisle. Thank you. God,
It's
words.
Yes. You always miss them when you need them.
I
The
know.
right words.
Oh
It's
my
hard
God.
when you're on the spot, isn't
It
it?
is.
I mean, I always do that too.
Yeah, Leah's gonna start like icing the aisle. So the door is just iced, and if they break through, they have to run through the thin sheet layer of ice. And she's gonna start
Perfect.
grounding everyone. To
You start working smart now. I like this.
So it should be difficult. It should be difficult
What?
terrain for them.
Yeah,
My one
exactly.
useful cantrip.
Damien's going to stay by the back door or wait for Leone to get out the door before he goes.
You mean Leah?
Yeah, what did I say?
that one, yeah.
Okay, so you're all making a run for it and having the villagers in front of you.
No,
Someone
Bear's
to-
leading them out the front, so he can take any kobolds that might still be out there if there are any.
Sweet. That's what I like to hear. So,
Imagine Quentin's in the middle hitting on some poor crying woman.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask. But it's,
yes, there are women's and nuns. Let's just say nuns too.
Oh, he's
Well,
definitely
well,
hitting on a nun, isn't he?
at least wait till we get back, you know. You understand the urgency of the situation.
That's good. Well, you can all, as you run out, start making a. Are you sneaking or are you just making the
Yeah.
run for it?
Well, we should be
We're-
like sneaking. We should be like
Yeah.
Sneak
hurried
running.
sneaking. Yeah, sneak running. Thank you. That's the perfect description of what we're doing.
But
Like,
yeah,
like quickly
at
sneaking.
least try and
So
big
like
one.
like a jog on your tiptoes, you know? Like
Just low,
okay, I
keep it
get it.
low. Just yeah.
I will allow. Okay, I will give you no disadvantage. Just give me stealth checks. All of you.
Here we go.
Oh, stealth plus
Really?
2. Come on, stealth. 22, natural 20.
Oh,
Well
sweet!
done.
Third one of the
Nice.
night.
So I've got a +6, but I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 3, so not much better.
One job.
Hold on, I'm looking.
I'm thirsty.
17.
Drink. 17. Okay.
So-
Before we resolve this, let's all just have a little drink and have a good time and cheers. And I hope I'm glad to see you
Cheers.
all again.
Glad to
Yes,
be
indeed.
back.
I'm
All right.
glad to be back.
Now, Bear's chainmail is clinking so loud, he's wondering how the hell Damien's keeping all that plate armor quiet.
It's because you're so focused on hushing on everybody.
Yeah, it's actually making more noise than...
And helping. Yeah. So the second, when you're sort of halfway out in the between the building or the church or the sanctuary or whatnot and the wall, you hear this, and then you sort of hear this muffling, and then you hear, "Hold on, they're there, after them." And the second you hear that, Damien and Lear, you are aware, you hear the door or the gate to the church, the sanctuary, just, and you hear them people running in, yelling. Everyone, I need you to roll initiative, but it is not for combat. This time we are gonna do a skills challenge, and I am stealing this skills idea from a guy that I have been listening to on a podcast. He's called Rodrigo Lopez, and the skill challenge will be that you will need to succeed 8 checks or fail 3 ones. It's also part of the fall. I don't know if it's in this system.
It's just basically
You
if
cannot.
Is that
You
out of the
can-
abyss escape?
You cannot use a skill that have been used before. You cannot use the skill you have used before. So if the person before you have used the skill, you cannot use that. If you have used the skill last turn, you cannot use that skill either. You can use a inspiration if you have one to reroll a d20.
Is this basically a D&D version of a quick time event?
Yeah.
Yeah, QT, I love
Do you
it.
remember in Out of the Abyss when we had to do the skill escape? It's that.
Ah, right, okay, cool.
Sounds
Okay.
cool.
So what I need you guys to do is roll me initiative, and don't yell. I will tell some of you to give me a number.
You mean you can't write it down if we all shout it at once?
Yeah.
No, I'm not God.
2, 8, 9, 10, 20, 22, 13. I'm just trying to mess them up.
You will all get disadvantages.
I already rolled mine. Haha.
Gotta take the first one, too.
All right, Leah,
15.
15. Damien,
19.
Quinton.
14.
Oh, you're rolling high.
Yeah,
I know, it's
that's
amazing
my
that.
Nate.
I don't like this.
Bear, not
17.
Nate, Bear. 17. Holy shit.
Yeah, my one good roll.
So the rogue is the slowest. That's a new one. Alrighty then. So, Damien would be the first one. Let me give you a setting. You see this as you are in the rear with Leah. You see the 2 Abyssdrake sort of caught your scent. You see the kobolds slowly trying to turn around and start running. You see the cultists pointing at you, yelling. You also see the one with the dragon mask the sort of leader type, standing, looking into the sanctuary, and sort of turning his head towards you guys, and you can hear all the ones with that standing in the front of the church with a battering ram, sort of sliding and falling into the church, but kind of trying to run to the rear end. And you have all these people in front of you, and it's quite sure that right now the battle will not be one you want to take. You can use any skill and describe what you want to do.
Nice.
It's very silent.
Yeah, I've got a thing.
Who's first?
I'm trying to think what he would do. Because he does not approve of what they're doing.
I mean, time is definitely a matter here, so think on your toes.
All right,
Sorry for us, we get to think.
all right.
I'm rolling.
I'm going to roll persuasion to try to get the people to move faster.
All right, roll.
That's a great idea.
19 plus 2.
So, what are you saying?
I'm like, come on, guys. I know you guys are tired. You guys are hurt, but we need to move. They cannot catch us.
As you say that, you sort of start to see that the males in the group picks up the smaller children and start to get them up and run faster, and you see the women sort of starts to scream a little, but they make them run faster. And that was persuasion. Great.
Yes.
Bear. You see the same thing, but every one of the evil are getting closer, and you can see the first persons, critters, evil raiders, someone come out of the back end of the building.
All right. So as a bonus action, I'd like to flip the bird to their commander. And then from action, I'd like to use athletics. And I'd like to run up to one of the elderly people I imagine are in the group running as well. And like the men did for the children, I'm going to hoist them up and start running with them to help them out, like to move faster, to help the group as a whole.
Cool. Hit me.
So that's a 19. And then my athletics is... hang on, sorry.
That's a success, by the way, also
Plus
for you.
6.
Yeah. You sort of describe it once more.
So I'm going to like have them put their arm around my shoulder, and I'm going to help them run. I'm going to like hoist them up and just kind of run with them on my back.
And sort of make the quick skid over the wall to the river.
Yep, run into the river, leading the townsfolk. Now, my immediate concern would be leading the enemy to our exit, our secret exit. So I don't know, can we make for the gate?
You can think about that while you're running. Leah.
I would like to use a...
Just a second. You see half of the crew, half of this people, and Bear and Quentin over the wall. They're making their way down to the river. You still have the other half of the people on the other side of the wall, and you see the average drakes are closing in. Not that they're in immediate range, but they are a little faster than all the others.
Is everyone out of the building?
Yes, you are also out of the building. You have seen the first 2 kobolds run through the back door.
Through the back door?
Yeah, they sort of slides like a curling rock.
Curling. Of course you chose that. I would like to use a nature check. So, you know, you've got the church and you've got the wall. What is the distance between the two?
from the corner of the building?
Well, wherever we are, so we're here, and the enemy's here, and we have the church and the wall, like this. What's the distance between that?
Between you and the wall, it's 15 feet. Between the wall and the building, it's 30, 40-ish feet.
Okay. I'd like to use a nature check to make a
Yes.
wall of ice to slow them down and hasten our retreat. Okay.
Go for it.
It's I'm rolling really well. Just to prove, it's not a nat 20, it's a dirty 20.
Oh, that's nice. So, as you do that, you sort of see, it's probably only Damien seeing this, but I like to explain this. You sort of see Leah turn around and just take all the moist from the ground, and you can see some of the water from the river just sort of crawling to her almost, and you see this wall sort of emerge between her and the enemies. And you can also faintly see some of the ground around the enemies get iced, and you can sort of hear this. So that was a success.
That was nerve-wracking.
So you guys, you are over the wall now, and you have slowed the critters down. The ones from the church that are sort of made their way a little around the ice wall, some of the people are already in the river. And Quinton, you're in the middle of this crowd of people, and you're up.
What skills have we had? We've had nature, persuasion, and athletics. Is that right?
Yeah, the only one you can't use is nature.
Right. Okay. Quentin's actually just going to kind of look over his shoulder and just basically try to imitate a shout from a cultist. So, like, they're turning north. Can he roll a deception to do that?
Of course you can.
Like, oh no, they seem to be going north.
With an accent, it's very weird.
Oh, thank God. Let's see. Wait a minute. Plus 4, 18.
Holy moly, you guys are rolling good. I should have put the DC way higher.
14 has been my highest roll all night.
I know. And you're not even using fantasy ground, so it's not that's fault.
No. I'm being honest.
Have you not been taking care of my dice?
The shit.
Oh, you were using her dice. You got
Well,
it,
they're
man.
all her dice.
Oh, no, that's not good.
She's got a friggin' million of them. I don't need to buy my own.
Remember what happened when you shared dice in Fantasy Grounds? Come on.
All too well.
Exactly. Well, as you hear Quinton yell this, you are all in the river, sort of all along the river running, and you see as the first part of this the raiders come down, they sort of split into two groups. One group going north and one group going after you in your direction. So as this happened, Damien, you're up.
1 second.
1. Oh, he's on the phone.
No, I was telling them to hold on, not you. I've already used that. Are we able to use ability scores like strength and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can use that. I mean as a skill. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I want to use. I want to do a wisdom check to see if there's any way we could possibly pick up the speed and make things faster, shorter route, something that could stall the enemies, just something like that.
Roll
So are you
me
using
a
insight?
perception. No, perception.
Roll a insight, you said?
Nope, perception.
Perception?
Perception. I'm trying to figure out
21.
how to.
21. I rolled a 16 plus 5.
Nice. So, what are you exactly looking for?
I'm looking for a way to increase our speed by a shortcut, or a way to make it so that the enemies behind me, because I'm one of the lasts in the line, something that can hinder their speed even more. Like maybe I could knock something over or a tree or something.
Okay, cool. You see, not far from where you're running, you see this sort of half rotting tree. Is because it's sort of too close to the water. I mean, the natures work this way sometimes, so it's sort of getting rotten roots, and it looks like it would be pretty easy for you to sort of tilt, so it would be in the way.
All right, so then that's what I'll do.
Cool, and that was a success, by the way.
Awesome.
So, Leah, no, Bear, you're in front, so you just suddenly hear us behind you, and a lot of yelling, screaming, crying, and you're all running along the river. You're sort of halfway to the tunnel.
Okay. I would like to. Is it my turn?
Sorry.
I would like to use a. It's okay. I'd like to use a survival check to look for any prints from that escaped dragon beast to make sure I don't run these civilians right into where it may have run off to, and hopefully just avoid any tragedy by bypassing that creature if it's still about. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Go for it.
I rolled a 7.
So, as you're running there, you sort of just start looking at the ground, sort of trying to figure out all of these prints, and the villagers. They just, some of them run past you, and some of them stop with you, and you're sort of holding all of this action by your looking around, and that was a failure. And you can't figure out if there's prints or not. You're just confused at this point.
Okay. And then the next opportunity I'll start running again then.
Good idea. So, Leah, you have heard this tree fall behind you, and you're running. Damien has caught up to you. The one abastric, there's only one after you at this point, it's closing in because it's faster than you. You have realized this at this point. You suddenly see the bear have crouched down and started looking for something in the ground, and 3 or 4 villagers have stopped with him, confused of what to do. And your turn.
Are we at the river? Are we in the river?
Yeah, beside in you pick.
Okay.
You're halfway to the tunnel.
Okay. I want to use animal handling to get my
Yes.
fishy friends to attack the abastrake, and maybe not. They won't hurt it, but they will at least slow it down because they're just like flinging themselves at it.
Fish in the face. You could swim under its feet and it could slip on them. Have you ever trodden a fish?
Well,
Maybe.
my fish can decide how they want to do that, but my whole aim is to ask for their assistance.
I've got this image now of this drake kind of like wading through this river and just get slaps in the face with tail with fish.
Well, you can definitely roll. Check.
That's a 14. 12
Oh,
plus
that's
2.
close one.
Ooh.
As you start, don't make the noise. Your funny noises. Please don't.
Go on.
Do you need me to do them?
Go on,
No.
go on.
No,
Go
just
on, go on.
rewatch the session from two times ago. You will get a perfect one of these for this time. Let's just keep that at a minimum. But
Your
as,
volume up loud or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you got no glass objects around.
Exactly. But as you sort of peek over your shoulder while you do this, you sort of see like when you watch Discovery Channel and you see the discovery of bears standing on the riverside and catching salmon, just jumping into his mouth. The Abyss Drake is sort of doing this at this point. It's free food. I mean,
Maybe he'll be too hungry to eat a villager now.
And he's a drake. He can smoke
too
it
full.
himself.
it's perfect. And it was a success, by the way. So we have 6 successes and 1 failure. So 2 more to go.
More fame
Quinton.
than fumbles. I like it.
Yeah, Quinton, you see, you just glance over as you run past the bear, just doing whatever the bears does, and
Come on, one arm.
You have also seen that this Abyss Drake is behaving pretty odd, sort of just eating.
He's just going to look back. He's going to look back to Bear. He says, "Come on, you've got one hand, not one leg. Run." Can he? I'm trying to figure out how to work a religion check into this, just for shits and giggles, but I don't know. I can't see it. I could pray. Can he not pray to God for intervention?
You're gonna drop down on your knees and start praying.
Just say, please, gods, all of you, please give me a hand. All right then.
Okay.
After telling me to get up and run.
Who is your deity?
Himself.
I'll just give you a second.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
It'd be tomorrow.
All right, here we go. For serious now. He's going to just try. He's going to roll an acrobatics check to see if he can just run faster than everybody else. He's just in panic. He's just in flight mode right now.
Perfect. Go for it.
+6. Go on. 13.
Ooh, right on the money. That's good.
Thank God.
Well, as you're running here, it looks a bit weird. Quinton sort of decides to turn out to the water, and it looks like he's running on the water, and he's running fast. It's like
Ninja.
It's as good as a religion check now.
it is the long Friday. I have to put it in here somehow. So, and Quinton is in the front now, way in the front.
See what happens when he gets chased.
And that was a success. So, top of the round. Damien, you have Bear pretty much right next to you, still crouched down. He probably at this point have realized that what he's doing is not the smartest. And the cultists and the kobolds are still after you. And they're sort of yelling, pointing, they're over there. Get them. It's your turn.
All right, so has anyone used a strength check yet?
No.
No, athletics is with the dexterity, right?
Pardon?
Athletics, it's with dexterity, right?
Athletics is strength.
Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about like strength itself.
No,
Like
none. You did.
Athletics is
So
strength.
you can't. No, you did perception.
Yeah. I want to. Sorry, Bear. I'm going to grab Bear around the waist because he's right next to me, and I'm just going to run and shove him forward, but not to where he falls, but to where he's on his feet moving.
Hoist me up by the belt kind of thing.
Yeah, hoist him up by the belt and push him forward to get him to run.
Cool. Roll.
Yeah, they used to do this in boot camp.
16.
Well, Bear, you sort of get a flashback to your training and the flashback of a sergeant sort of dragging you out of the mud and kicking your ass to make you run faster and follow your group. And yeah, you do it quite easy, Damien, because you're a bigger, strong man, and I mean, Bear is missing an arm, so he's lighter than usual, I guess, kinda. So yeah, and that was the last success. So you guys, you are a long way in front of the raiders, and you are right now at the entrance of the tunnel, secret tunnel. And for that, we are going to have a break and see what happens when we are after the break. So stay tuned. We will be back in 5-10 minutes-ish. We will get some drinks and go to the toilet and do what people do on toilets. So we'll be back shortly. Bye. Welcome back. We're back here, Fumbles&Fame, and the International D&D group. We have had a short break, and now we're back for more action. We left our group with a little skill challenge. They succeeded, so they have found their way with a whole bunch of townfolk from the sanctuary, and they're now standing in front of the secret tunnel into the keep of the keep of Greenest. They have put a big distance to the raiders, so that is where we left them. And before we get longer, you can all, at this point, it's maybe a little familiar. Feel this bump in your back pockets, and you hear a voice in your head. And let's say thank you, Tahina, for double up on party potions. So
Thank
you.
I don't think you're dying soon, guys.
Wait, did you say double part potions?
Yep.
So we got 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
I now
you.
have 3-part potions.
So that's nice. Cool. Thanks once again, Athena. But yeah, you're standing here with a lot of frightened people at the secret tunnel into Greenest, the keep of Greenest. And in the distance, you can sort of hear the kobolds and oh, you get so confused by looking at that cat and not my player. And you hear the kobolds and cultists just in the background yelling and skittering in the water in your direction.
Leah's just purring.
And are we unmuted?
Yeah, we're muted.
Good. Just to make sure that we don't make the same mistake as last time.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you guys, what are you up to?
Are we still in the chase, or?
Yeah, no. I mean, you're put a good distance, so you have some minutes before they reach your point. At this point, you're right in front of the secret tunnel, and you have a lot of scary townfolk amongst you.
Gary? Uh-oh.
I should have checked the gate to see if that, because are we far enough away that they can't see us at the secret area, or did we pretty much give it away?
You don't. I mean, you don't have an immediate look on the raiders, but I mean, if you just walk in, they will probably see that there's a lot of footprints going right there, and yeah, all the good stuff.
I would like to see if we can get them to the gate and try to cover the tracks as we go.
Okay.
If everybody else is good with that.
I mean, the second you go a little up on the sort of a steep hill sort of thing from the river up to the ground, you can't see anything. You can
Because of the smoke.
not even see the castle.
But we found the secret entrance, right?
Yeah, you can see that, but when Bear stick his head up, there's pretty much nothing to see.
I can't see anything in this damn fog, and then he's going to come back down. And I think what he would try to do then is get everybody in, and then ask Leah if she can use her water shape to wash away the footprints.
Leah will be on cleanup duty.
I like that.
Yeah. So he just says it was her use of water has been genius, and if she could help him with that, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, she'll do that. She'll also seal up the pipe once we're through, once we're all in that and inside as well.
So you're going through the tunnels into Greenest.
Yep.
The Keep of Greenest.
Yep, we are, right? What's what we're
I'm good
doing?
with that.
I'm asking you guys.
Question real quick. I just want to, like, a quick recall. When we left the Keep of Greenest, it was under attack.
Yeah, you were standing in the Sally port, as you remember. There was getting a breach, and the second down the first wave of raiders, you were out at this Sally port doorway, and you get knocked out with the Bear, Valeron, and yourself, and carried away. So, and then you woke up in the river side.
So the only
That's
people
what-
that actually know about the secret passageway was actually Quentin and Leah.
Nope. Oh, Bear does, because he met you around there.
Okay, well, that's the thing I'm worried about. If we can't head back to the Keep with people because it's under attack.
It is safer than the church.
And if you remember correctly, the gate was almost destroyed when we left.
We reinforced the gate.
With ice?
Ice and barrels and cart, and the ugly green man, he put the cart against it.
All right. If it's under attack, I don't know if bringing the people there or to a place that's under attack is any better than when we were at the church.
So
If we run, the dragon will eat them.
I don't know. All I know is the man who's going to give me my reward is up there.
You can always count on Quentin.
Well, any better ideas?
we also need to bring back a cultist.
That's all right. We've got a priest.
No, you
Wasn't he?
you
He wasn't
did
the.
that.
What? He wasn't the one that we needed.
No, we need a cultist.
Oh. Well.
The people,
Okay.
the people are safer in the keep than they are in the street.
I'm just gonna roll.
I agree.
You can the voices from the kobolds and the cultists running against you. Are you still standing? I mean, outside of the tunnel?
I would imagine we're...
Aki-
I would imagine we're inside the tunnel.
oh, you're inside the tunnel now.
Are we not? Well,
Did we?
You said we were going inside.
yeah.
Okay, so you're in the tunnel.
She even said she
Damien.
sealed the entrance.
Okay, cool. I was not certain if that was planning or that was actually happening.
Yeah, I missed that as well.
Anywho, give me 1 second, everyone. Okay, sorry, everyone, if the XP system is not working. There's something. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that, but stay tuned. You will still get the XP from the net 20s and still have the fun. Anywho, Damien, Nate, and Quentin, you're in this tunnel. You can't see shit, and you hear Tomful sort of be scared of the dark.
Not again. Everybody got a torch.
I I can see fine.
Yes, you
Actually,
can.
do have torches.
Then come on, let's move.
So Bear will take out his tinderbox and torch, and if they're not too wet, he will strike one up and try to lead the way.
You can manage to turn one.
Excellent.
So you can now see, and you're in this old tunnel. And you see the water and dirt from the keepers or from somewhere running down. Hill towards where you're walking up against, and you see some rats squeaking in the corner, too frightened to attack you because some green person make them very scared.
I'll hand out a couple more torches and light them on the original torch too, so a couple of villagers or maybe like Quentin or somebody has one.
Leah's just working on blocking up this tunnel really thickly. So no
Yeah.
one can get in.
Marvelous.
I will just roll with disadvantage thanks to Tahina to see if the group of cultists and kobolds actually see the tunnel. And that's a nat 1, so that would be
Hey.
fat no. So,
Adults.
thanks to Hina, you can sort of hear this muffling through the ice and all the stuff that Leah is using. Sort of. And sort of hear the splashes of people moving past.
Cool.
So, I guess you're moving along.
Yeah, we want to get back in the keep.
Cool. So, and Nate, you were taking the lead.
I had a torch. For the villagers, I'll just lead them.
How
I'm
many
sorry, it
villagers
was.
did we save, by the way?
Give me a second. 16 plus 23,
Nice.
and a priest.
Ah, so we actually had the numbers. Yeah, could have. Yeah,
Yeah.
could have taken them on, give the
You
kids a few rocks. Never
I
mind.
love them. I love your mentality. So, Bear, you just suddenly sort of reach an end of this tunnel, and there's a old wooden ladder. It's look a little what's it called? Moist and not that stubborn. I'm lacking words.
Is it like
Yeah.
deteriorated?
Yeah, I mean it will probably work, but it's not that good condition. And you see a closed latch over you.
I'm gonna send somebody else up. I'm gonna hold the torchlight, and either one of the villagers or one of my party can grab the latch. And then, if need be, we have a couple more ropes.
Okay, then Quentin will do that.
All right. As you squeak up, lift the lid, you are met by a big axe and a somewhat familiar voice. Who goes there?
It's me. Let me back. Let me up.
You sort of feel the lid get lifted, and you see this red-haired dwarf looking at you with a quite of surprised look. Oh, it's you guys. Well, come up, hurry. Sort of start helping you guys up.
Yep.
I'm gonna stand by the ladder, ushering the villagers.
Yeah, Quentin's just gonna dust himself off and look very pleased with himself.
Oh, he'll actually call up. Quentin, can you help pull people up?
He just looks to the dwarf and he says, I've got a knackered arm here. Could you give these people a hand?
Nice.
It's perfect. Well, you get people up, and you see the priest and Escobar sort of recognizing each other and giving each other a recognizing nod, and the priest just takes all the town folks that you have rescued and gets them out of the hallway and up to the keep itself. So you did well. If anyone followed you, did you discover anything else? Have you brought a cultist for Nighthill?
No, but we did capture a priest. Is that not the same thing?
No, Quentin. Leah says from where she is.
You captured a priest. You mean Thomas? No. He's not to capture. I mean, he was one of those you have to save.
Well, we managed to save all these town people from the church.
And we are very grateful.
There was a man in a big, scary mask, and unfortunately, we did not have time to capture a cultist.
Oh. Well, we got some information from the kobold you got from the last wave of evil.
The bastard.
But yeah, you can call them bastards. That's probably a good way. I like you, girl. But yes, anyways, it's a good thing you got all of these people. I mean, they probably wouldn't have made it without your help. Get up here and let's get you cleaned up and maybe get some food before all this terror continue.
So as Bear's coming up the ladder, he's going to ask, before we do that, how's the gate faring?
The gate is totally sealed. It's a good way to say it. We have pretty much got all the lumber to keep and sealed everything. And I mean, you met Grog, or some of you did. He's put a really good work effort to lifting Phil's things and putting it in front of the gate. So no one's getting through there.
I sealed the tunnel.
Good job. Was it any difficulty there at all? Did you manage?
I do believe I sealed it.
Good. You're a good lass. Come with me. He walks you up through the staircases into the keep's the middle tower, a sort of big round thing of the keep, and make sure that some attend to you and give you water to wash up and some food if you need some, and wine, of course, if someone needs. So yeah, are you in here?
That's gonna be the first thing Quentin heads for. The wine.
Leo is going to look like she is washing herself, and she was looking a bit ratty, but now she's starting to be all shiny again.
Sparkle.
Shiny.
I'm not sure we're allowed to use that too much.
It's alright, you only had 30 seconds, we're good.
Yeah, Disney's gonna eat us. Anyway, so you're in here, and as probably it's still kind of looking the same as when you left it. I mean, the gate is sealed, immediately, almost completely, and the dragon is still flying around. But you can't see anything in this courtyard at all. Not at all. You can hear the flaps of the dragon. Smoke everywhere. And you can hear people walking around when you look out to the middle of the keep area. So, yeah. And you can still hear some fighting. You can hear, what's it called? Crossbows being shot, but I mean, people are just mostly concerned that they can't see anything at all.
Do I think that the smoke is mostly helping keep the cultists away from the keep, or do I think the smoke is hindering our guys?
A little bit of both.
Okay, do I think it's an acceptable situation at this point, or do I think I really need to speak that command word and end the smoke?
Oh yeah, that. The bottle.
I mean, I mean, it would be. It's not possible to see if the kobolds are actually building something to get into the castle from the wall. So, I mean, you can't see shit. I mean, you can see nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. I'm sorry. I mean,
Okay.
if you put a
gonna-
hand out in front of you, you can't see it.
Quentin's just going to kind of make a observation. He's going to point up to where the dragon's obviously circling. You can hear its wings. He's going to point up and says, like, "Don't they ever get tired?"
So,
What?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Great.
His face get. Go ahead.
No, you first. When's not important.
His face gets dark, and Bear just says, "This one's being quite lazy compared to what I have seen."
Oh, right. Because if I was just flying around all day and all night, pretty damn bored.
Leah's gonna turn to the short little man.
You can just hear this. It is around in the area, but nothing else really, and the flaps of the wings.
Bear
Quick question,
flinches.
real quick. Did Bear ever pick up that bottle of Ever Smoke?
That's what we were just talking about.
No, it's lying where he dropped it and making smoke everywhere.
So the smoke is now covering the keep by now.
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
were discussing.
That's the issue. You can't see anything when you're inside the keep, sort of the building. You can see because the smoke is in there. But as soon as you go out to the area outside or the square in the middle, you can't see anything. I mean, you can hold your hand in front of your head. You can't see it.
Doesn't
Sorry.
he have control over that smoke though? It said that he could tell where the jar was.
I don't know if I could tell where the jar is at, but I could speak a command word to end the effect, and then maybe find it later if I was rolling good enough, or taking enough time, but not in the middle of this combat.
Correct. I'm just wondering for myself. That's all.
Okay.
What
There's
is,
actually like, go ahead.
what is the plan? We cannot just sit here like fish in a net.
I know, I've got wine. I'm pretty happy.
It
You're
does,
absolutely right.
it does not seem that dragon is going to go away. Listen to it. It sounds so fat.
I can't tell if removing the smoke would make its job easier, or if it's the only thing keeping it at bay. What do you think?
Little man, what is your plan?
The plan is to hold the night and to this raid off. I mean, we have supplies to stay in here for a month or something, but I mean, I don't know how long they'll stay here. Hopefully not for too long. I mean, that dragon isn't really helping anything.
Do you not
Barrow-
have reinforcements?
Not really. I mean, we are quite far away for anything. We have our own guards and townfolk, and there it is again. I think it's getting closer. But we only have our own soldiers. I mean, and we haven't had the time to send anyone out. It all went so fast.
So, question: does anyone else know about this secret passage other than us?
No, pretty much you guys, the townfolk you brought in, me and Nighthill, the governor.
What about so the civilians don't know? Are they not supposed to know?
No, that's the easy answer. It's a way for us to get water on the siege, and it's a way to if the keep gets overthrown, we have a way to get out. But we have actually never used it. This is actually the first time we have ever used this.
Well, my question is, what if we get everybody into the secret tunnels and to try to trick the dragon that everyone's gone and keep everyone hidden there? We could probably hold out a day, maybe two, and convince the dragon's gone. If the dragon's convinced we're gone, then he will leave.
That
Maybe
So
is
you
it'll-
want? I'm not. You're saying that you want to stay in the tunnel? Or what?
if we bring all the people in the tunnel try to convince because eventually the dragon's going to land and check the keep, or the people are going to get into the keep. If we can convince them that everyone's gone, they're going to be like, okay, and then they're going to pack up and leave. They're going to move.
I'm thinking dragons are a lot smarter than that.
Right.
Is
Yeah,
what
but
Garrison
Damien's
is.
not smarter than that, so.
Well, waiting here for a month it is.
Dragons are clever beasts. It wouldn't fall for that. Do we have any craftsmen in the village who could help craft some sort of siege weapon, a ballista maybe, or who do you have who has skilled?
I mean, first of all, I don't think we can fit the whole of this population of Greenest in the tunnel. I mean, it's not that big, and we could, but it will take a week to craft it.
We don't have weeks. What is our situation with ammunition? Do we have crossbows? What type of bolts do we have? Give me some info.
We have, I mean, we have a lot of guards, of course, and we have the 20 guards standing on to the parapet all right now, trying to figure out what's happening in this smoke and where did that come from. Anyway, and we have a lot of crossbows, we had a lot of ammunition. I mean, we are ready for battle, but right now we can't see anything, and I'm not sure that this dragon or these raiders are leaving soon.
Let me ask you this. If we readied everyone in the courtyard under the cover of the fog with their crossbows and waited for the dragon to pass, I could call this fog away and we could surprise it. It won't expect us to launch a volley of arrows or crossbow bolts, and it might be enough to drive it off, even if temporarily.
I mean, what I've seen, it would probably just use one breath and we're all gone.
We could try to set up some form of cover for the men.
Could
We
not just
could.
ask it to go away?
I like that plan.
I don't know.
It has the run of the town. You said it wants the shiny circles. So let it take the shiny circles and let it go away.
I mean, it has been circling just around the keep and spraying fire every now and then. I mean, it doesn't seem that it's looking for anything. I just think it's trying to keep us in here.
Because it wants the shiny circles.
Probably. I don't know dragons. I just know they're strong and what people tell from stories.
I don't like the idea of cooperating with these monsters, but if it's our way out.
Just to maybe put it out there, we could run. I mean, you know, just me, you, whoever wants to come with me.
That's so great.
And the dragon would just eat us. I mean, we would be easy prey.
So you want to fight?
I want to live.
Is there anywhere safer than this place around here?
Is there any what?
Anywhere safer than the keep around here?
No.
Well, what you said you sound like you've seen these things before. How did you manage to drive off the last one?
As you stand here,
I fed it,
discuss.
and he holds his arm up.
Well, you've got another one.
Well,
But I don't have another wife and child defeated either, no, do I?
There's plenty
I don't know why I got a
around
little
here.
Scottish there.
well, as you stand here in the courtyard discussing, you sort of hear the wings of this dragon gets heavier and closer, and by an instance, You see 5 guys just directly turn into ash on the parapet.
We cannot see him.
That's not a good thing.
Right, inside maybe? I'm going to go inside.
From the top of the parapet, you hear Grog. Grog can't see dragon. Grog can't kill.
We need to get rid of this smoke so we can actually fight the dragon.
Bear will shout the command word.
Then shout it.
What would he say?
What is the comment?
What is it?
Did you
I'm
forget?
just gonna make up a word that sounds. He's gonna shout "Inoxio." That's the command word to get it to stop.
Is that from Harry Potter or something?
No, I don't know. It's Harry Potter-esque.
All right. As you hear Bear just say the first sort of 2 letters on his word, the word itself sort of sounds like it's like vibrating, and you sort of see the smoke just get sucked, and it just by an instant it's totally clear. You can see the moon as it's like a light ball. It's almost like the sun, and you can see the dragon as it was just right in front of you. Not because it's close, but because it's so clear to you at this point, flying around.
It is a full
Bear
man.
will elbow the dwarf and say, "Command them to fire."
And he just looks at you. Oh, fire at will! And
Sorry,
you just
guys.
hear the. Yeah, there's no initiative. You can still roleplay.
Quinn's just going to grab onto his hat and just make a break for the nearest doorway. He's going to get into cover and probably into a building.
Before you do that, you can see Grog just readying his crossbow and just looking very stubborn, but then he turns into ashes with 3 others.
Oh no!
Grog!
As that happens, you see 6 other guards running up with the crossbows and ready and start shooting against the dragon. You see Escobot looking at you. We gotta do something with this matter. The dragon's gonna kill us all.
It's just like,
Are there no ballistas?
Oh.
No ballistas.
They have a lot of crossbows. You can sort of hear the distant shouting. You're
Are
not
there
sure.
large, like spears or anything around?
Yeah, there's a bunch. But just a second. You can sort of hear in the background sort of shouts, but it doesn't look human. It doesn't sound human. Damien, you can roll me a perception. What?
Natural 20.
Nice. Perfect. So I'll just need to go to the chat and give them XP, 10 XP for a net 20. Woohoo! Well, you can hear in Draconic, make them suffer, make them burn, turn this shitty keep into ashes.
I'm going to relay that information. As he's saying it, I'm going to say word for word what he says and say that's coming from outside.
Oh,
There goes a couple more people. Bye.
are there? Did you say there were javelins and spears nearby?
Bear, how strong is your arm?
Yes,
Strong enough.
there's all the spears that you want in the world, and there's all the crossbows you can manage to find, and bows, and all regular equipment from the player's handbook.
All right.
Okay.
Except for armor. Except for armor.
I can throw.
A tiny thought.
Can I see the dragon at all flying?
Yeah, you can see the dragon. It have sort of it holds a distance around 25 feet around the keep, and every now and then it flies in and either grab a guard, eat it, or spray its fire breath.
All right, I'm gonna wait till it gets close. I'm gonna launch a spear right at its chest.
All right, roll me a attack roll.
Once I have a chance, I'd like to do the same.
Oh, and you have advantage thanks to Tahina for that. Sorry.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, Quentin's
19 with advantage.
All right. Roll damage.
I don't know what the damage for spears.
It's a D6, I think. Give me a second. Oh, god damn it.
Plus strength
Come
or
on.
dex.
It would be dex. No, it would be strength. You can use strength because it's a spear. And you're throwing with it. Just give me a second. Spear. There you are. Yeah, D6.
I rolled a maximum die, so 6 plus 2, 8.
8 damage.
Yep.
Cool. You see the dragon sort of turns to look what hits it. Not certain what hits it. It's just kill. Three guards on the parapet.
Did the spear puncture it, or did it just bounce off?
It sort of sits in the under the wing armpit, sort of.
Tell your men to get rid of the crossbow and start throwing spears.
Esquivadas, sorry.
Well, when it's close, throw the spears. When it's far, use the crossbows. Bear will follow up.
is there a spare crossbow lying about?
Yeah, there's loads.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Quentin's actually just going to just randomly run out and grab one. He's actually going to make his way up to where up to the parapet, overlooking the gates.
Yeah.
Does he see like the? Is there anybody who looks like particularly like a leader, like a guy in a mask? Particularly.
There is. You see, you know, you're on top of a hill. You see downhill, a great distance away. You see this person in this very, not bright, but very, it's a purple cloak cape sort of thing. It's yeah, it's kind of easy to see, and the person is wearing this dragon mask, and you can see that you can sort of feel, or I don't know, hear, see, not right probably, but that's probably the one shouting commands to the dragon.
Quentin's going to take a pot shot with his crossbow at him.
How far away is he?
He's in crossbow range.
Quentin, the dragon is in the air.
Around 120 away,
120 feet.
more or less. I mean, somewhere around there. So you will probably have disadvantage, maybe. I don't know. Crossbow. I have bolt. I don't have crossbow. Just a second. Bolt,
Unless
and
you get advantage and cancel it out.
Yes. Yeah, you have disadvantage, and he is just in your reach. So you will have, because of Tahina, if you attack, advantage. So you will just roll regularly.
Aim for the eyes.
No,
So thanks to Tahina for advantage once again.
marvelous. Well, let's see.
Praise to Hina.
It's a range shot plus my proficiency, which is 2 plus 4 so it's plus 6.
Are we allowed to spend our points during our own stream?
No.
I asked that last session.
24.
All right. You shoot as you can see, the bolt has the perfect direction to against this person. You just see this his hand just wave up, and you see the bolt just splinters completely. You can just sort of hear this from far away.
Okay. Seeing that, he's just going to he's going to run back, and he says, like, he's just going to say, "So, the bloke giving the orders, he doesn't seem to be able to be shot by any conventional means. I don't think we're going to win this one, you know."
There goes two more.
God, they're stupid. Get off the walls, you fools!
They're trying to kill it. Come on, help them.
Maybe we
wings,
should.
What size? No, everyone stop for a second because I haven't said anything before. The dragon's wings. How big are they?
Big. I'm not size blue dragon. Wild guess. 15 meters one direction and 15 meters, maybe 20 meters in each direction. It's a large creature. I mean, it's pretty good big. It's huge, I think.
Okay, the bits that attach the wings to its back, how big are those?
Yes. There's some very annoying questions.
It's important.
They will probably be the size, of a old school catapult rock stone. I mean, it's bigger than, a faun.
So, less than 5
Probably bigger. Around 5 foot.
Okay. Then.
You and your cantrips.
Yeah.
She's going somewhere with us.
When it comes in, how close does it get? Would you say it gets as close as 30 foot?
Yeah, I mean, it holds its distance from the parapet wall to 25. So it's kind of always in sort of a reach.
Okay, well, it's quite moist up in the air. So there's water up there. I want to target that dragon's wings. We need to ground that shit.
Yep.
And I want to do it by freezing its wings. Or at least the bits that join it up. Whether I tear the membrane or just freeze it in place, I don't really care, but that's what I want to aim and do. That's what I want to try and do.
Can I see what she's trying to do from where I'm standing?
Roll me a perception check.
Me?
Nope. Damien.
18.
You have an idea that she's probably gonna use something with ice or water.
That's all I got. Ice or water. Until level 2.
Exactly.
But I
You have
can't
known
tell
her
what
for
she's
some
targeting,
time.
right?
What?
I can't tell what she's targeting.
No, not. I mean, there is only one target. But yeah.
Right, I want to target the dragon's
So-
wings.
Yes, give me a nature. Just I want you to roll something because to see how good or bad this goes. And don't roll yet. You have advantage.
Hey.
So my first roll was...
Thanks to Tahina, sorry. Thanks to Tahina, you have advantage.
My first roll was a 13. My second roll was a natural 20.
Oh my
Hey.
god, you're killing it tonight. Well, just a second. Just have to give the chat what they want. 10 XP for the chat. Here you go.
I'm not getting any XP from the ones you've been sharing, and I'm not getting any XP for each minute either.
The ones that I'm giving will only come up when you update, because that's how that system works. And the clock one, as I told the viewers, it's not working properly right now. So I have already excuse for that. We are not going to fumble with that right now. But anywho, as you see Lear standing in the middle of this courtyard, she's concentrating as she have never done before. You sort of see ice plates just start to move against the dragon's wing, one wing stump, whatever to call this bit, and sort of making it stiff. You see the dragon slowly sort of fly in a small circle, and as it feels, you can see that it's dropping a little. It just takes its claw, ripping the ice off, and flies away from the area. There was no dragon in this area.
Nice.
Quentin's gonna grin and doff his hat, and he said, like, using the old trick I taught you, eh?
Shut up, Quentin. I see you doing nothing.
Oh, and another thing, Leonie. Thanks to Tahina, you got one spell slot back.
Yay! Right. Well, I'm not
Nice.
going to waste this.
And sorry to
Hooray.
Tahina that they're getting it so late. The system is from some way working a little slow, so they're getting the stuff as fast as possible. And once again, sorry viewers that you're not getting XP. I'm gonna give you all some XP when we're done at some point. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and we're still going. So you see Escobar just jaw dropping, looking at you, looking to the sky, looking at you. Do you want to marry me?
What are you paying for my dowry?
Whatever I have.
We shall speak later.
It's gonna whisper, it's like, he looks poor and everything's just got burned by a dragon. I don't think he has much.
Did she take the dragon out?
Nope, she
I
makes the
scared it.
dragon sad. So it chose to just say, screw the shit. I don't want to bother with these shitty adventures.
So I'm trying to take it out.
So that no more dragon. Let's get drunk.
We still have to deal with the people on the outside.
They're
Just
on the
a quick-
outside.
Yeah,
They're
keep
still
going,
on the
keep going.
outside trying to get in. We should take care of at least as many as we can. Get them to retreat so we have a reprieve to rest.
All right, if you go to try that, don't aim at the bloke in the purple cloak. It didn't go very well.
What happened?
He just put up his hand and the bloody bolt shattered. So either he's a powerful wizard or that was a shitty bolt that I fired.
It was probably defective.
If he came closer, I would try and drown him.
How far away is this bloke with the purple thing?
Around 120 feet away or something like that.
I need him at 60, and then I can make a
I
cube
don't
of
know.
water on
I
his
can
head.
hit him.
What are you saying, Damien?
I can hit him.
If go try your worst or best.
Guiding bolt on him?
You have no spell slots.
Oh, there's no checks on the spells.
I know you have none because you used them all on healing because Quinton was going so much down in the beginning.
Okay, so I gotta fix it.
It's okay.
So Quentin just looks around, very satisfied. He said, "Right, now that you've all been saved by the illustrious Quinton Herring, what to do now?"
As you're saying that, you hear from the other side of the wall, "Citizens of Greenest." You sort of see most of the guards gather around the parapet, and you see the governor and Escobar walks up there too, and look down.
Maybe I'll walk with them.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I'll
was
definitely go
quite-
over too.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to go up there, I think.
As I'm gonna take this up because this is just have to find it. Yeah. As you go up there and you see the as you go up there, you can see this from from the darkness of the area, you see this humanoid creature strides onto the dim light of the keep of greenest. Fires. He's roughly shaped as a human, but he's quite large for a human. I mean, he's pretty much the size of Damien, kind of. His skin is covered in blue scales. His fingers have claws. And his face has sort of a snout or something. I don't know what to call it other ways. And he's on his eyes, where you can normally see your normal human eyes, you can see this yellow glows as almost looks like the dragon that's just fly over your head.
Bear's blood starts to boil.
And behind him you see 6 kobolds just holding 4 persons. 1 woman, 2 small children, and a teenage boy. And he just walks up, look very, very sure of himself. He's within range.
Okay, carry on.
That son of a bitch.
Defenders of Greenest, this has been a successful night. And I'm feeling great. Do you see these 4 pitiful, useless prisoners? We have no need of them, so I will trade them back to you. Send out your best warrior to fight me, and you can have these 4 in exchange.
Bear's already pushing through soldiers to get to the stairs.
Quinton's actually just going to shout down. He's going to say, I'll tell you what, we've got a healer here. How about you hand us the prisoners and we get someone to sort out that nasty skin condition of yours?
As this creature talks, you see one of the sergeants of the parapet. He just sort of freezes. Just give me a second. He just freezes and just looks. It's my sister. Oh my god! And he just sort of tried to get down to the gate and remove all the stuff in front of it to get out. And as he tried to do that, some of the soldiers started grabbing him and tried to restrain him.
Damien is going to say that I volunteered to fight this man.
Oh, Bear's already heading to the gates, and if he sees this guard doing that, he'll punch him in the head and walk past him.
How many cultists? There's sort of a crowd of cultists with this guy.
I mean, just to describe, first of all, you have barricaded the gate, so you will have some time to talk and sort this out. Second of all, there's one guy with blue scales. Wonder what he is. And 6 kobolds behind him, holding these 4 persons.
All right, so how high is the parapet from the ground? You said it was like 10 foot, right?
Yes.
So it's just a step down
it's probably. I mean, the parapet to the ground down below. It's probably 20 feet or something.
You think you'd probably have to fight there to get him?
Normally.
One at a time, Damien.
So I could literally just step down or like jump down, and it'd be just like a normal jump for me.
No.
No. Then he'll head right to the gate.
And Nate? No, sorry, Bear.
Oh, I said Bear looks like you'd have to fight him to get to the Dragonborn. Because he wants it so bad.
See, this Quinton's just kind of going to come down to the 2, and he's just going to say, whoa. Let's calm down here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can take all of these guys at once.
If we don't fight him one-on-one, he'll kill those folks.
I'm not gonna let him
All right.
kill those innocent people.
Well, let's make him think that we're going to fight him one-on-one. Then once he's distracted, we'll just pile on him.
You hear from outside of the gate. Greenest, what say you?
1 minute!
Wait a minute. I have a plan now that Quentin mentions that. What if one of us goes out there and fights him and somehow gets his back to the wall, and then the rest of us drop down from there?
What if we use the smoke for cover to help the escape of the prisoners? And I could probably distract him with my magic. He is close enough, I can smell him.
I mean, just to clarify, these 4 prisoners is, I mean, it looks like pretty much one wrong move, and it's a direct coup de grace. Just to state that.
Bear.
He looks
Damien's
at you.
going to look at Bear and he's going to say, Bear, let me go out there.
Rock. Scythes paper.
No
Rock,
offense,
dagger,
to you, but you are not-
parchment.
no offense to you, but you're not at your full capacity.
Oh, he healed with a potion.
Leah
You
looks
know
up
what
to
I
the
mean.
moon.
You're missing
Out
it
of
out.
character, I kind of want it too, so I'll roll you a d20 and we'll call it rock, scissors, paper. Higher
All right,
d20.
yes. I'll do that.
All right, I'll take a photo of it if I have to, or use an app. You just tell me what you want to do. I'll tell you what my number is first.
Just to make a quick storyline, it just to what I think makes sense.
Sure.
I think it would make more sense for Bear to fight this because he probably has a bigger beating to give this guy. Not because someone is stronger or weaker, but he has some issues with dragons and all that stuff. But you can do your rock paper scissors.
Out of character, I completely understand that, and I agree. But at the same time, but Damien's personality, he sees people that need help. So
Perfect. I was just.
Bear isn't fully. He's missing an arm, so he doesn't think he's 100% capable.
I was just putting in my opinion, but it's
I
cool.
have a
It's your.
out of character question.
Yes.
Have we passed the milestone to level up?
No.
Oh,
You are very, very soon there.
because if it was, I would say let's do this at dawn after a long rest and let Leo go. Because Leo gets some special abilities at level 2.
Okay.
But
It would be really
I
interesting to see her fight him, actually.
But
Guys,
if it's
give me
not-
that rock paper scissor.
Go on, do it in the cameras.
Wait,
Oh no, wait.
I don't. Yeah. Why don't we try to parlay until the dawn? Why don't we try to parlay till dawn and come up with a plan?
We
Is
were
what
just
Bear
gonna-
says.
Just tell him to
Yeah.
fight during the dawn. Well, yeah, we'll do it, but at dawn.
Quinn said he's gonna actually go back up to the parapet, just like run up and look over, and he says like, "Why do you want to duel us exactly?"
He just laughed. He just to see them just. Ah, you're a bunch. I will start counting then, and 0. I will start with the children.
Leo runs
5.
up. Leo
I
runs
don't
up
think it's gonna work.
to the top to stand next to her. She was like, "We will send out our best hero at dawn."
No, it is now or never.
Don't you want a good fight?
I want to fight your best fighter. I don't care who it is, and I want to fight.
Well, you see, we're all we're all a little bit knackered from slicing up all your sneaking past and outwitting all your people all night. You know, we're not in our best shape. You don't want to fight a cripple, do you?
Leo,
You see him walks over to the one of the childs, putting out his claw around his neck. 2.
Leo's going to try and to quickly appeal to his vanity. And she is going to say, What kind of warrior would you be if you did not fight our best? You will fight our best at dawn.
No, I fight now, and I will fight the best as the right honor choose one and one. Right here, right now. One. This is your
Somebody's
last
outside.
warning.
Bear,
I'll go. I'm gonna shout, "You'll fight me, beast!"
Finally, you see him just drag his great sword. All right,
Before Bear goes outside, Leah wants
Hmm?
to kind of make him
Yeah.
ice armor from her
Oh,
water
that's
spell.
awesome.
do it.
Okay, she just ices him up with like movable
Is
armor.
it ice armor or is it cantrip armor?
It's cantrip armor.
Okay, on the first blow, I will grant you 1 AC plus.
question: does Bear look like he's at full capacity? Does he?
He looks as evil, good, stubborn as you have ever seen him before. He's almost not even in here anymore in his mind. He's out there already taking care of this guy.
Remember, kick him in the balls.
Didn't we have to move the stuff first? So
They have done that while you were discussing.
Leah is also
The
going to
meantime,
force
just,
one of her potions into his hand just in case he needs it.
Oh, thank you. He'll
Now
nod.
he has 3.
Yeah, well, as many as he needs.
All right. As you hear the gate just... And Bear steps out. Let's roll initiative.
As soon as he gets a chance, he ducks under that gate.
Mortal
Hand out his flail.
Kombat!
Dun, 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 dun.
I got. Do you want my initiative?
Oh, yes.
18.
18.
Holy hell. That's good. Well, as you stand out there, you sort of see the 4 kobolds. They're with holding the prisoners. They're sort of forming a half circle just right behind the dragonbone, and the 2 others goes as close as the wall as possible, kind of not totally out of it. So you're sort of surrounded of a half circle and the gate. So you have a fighting square
Are they still
or
close?
circle. They're close.
Okay.
I mean. So, but Bear, you go first.
All right. So he's going to. He's in an arena kind of now, like a square. He said.
Yeah, or circle, half circle with the wall behind you and the gate, and then the half circle, and then you see the let's just put it out there, the dragon bone, almost right in front of you, 10 or 15 feet.
is Lyra still in here with us? Is she still in there tending to the wounded?
Oh yeah,
All right.
she is.
All right. So Damien's going to ask her to come with him up to the top of the parapet.
Okay, and before you go, Bear, you just and let's make one thing clear. Gentlemen's combat, no interference here. Just one squeak behind the wall. The prisoners would get killed. And you go, Bear.
Says the bastard that would kill children. And then he takes the flail from his side and he'll take a swing right at his temples. Or right at his temple.
Go for it.
It's not good.
Fuck him up,
10.
A 10? Oh, wait a minute. You have. I think you have advantage. You have advantage
okay.
for Tahina. Go for it. Sorry. And thank you,
Sweet.
Tahina.
Oh, that's so much better. Thank you. So that ends up being. Let me get my weapons up here. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
That
the
ends
first
up being a 19 altogether.
Well, you hit.
Okay,
Roll me some
sweet.
damage.
It's 1d8. That is
Somebody give the DM disadvantage.
5
have.
plus 3. So 8 altogether damage-wise.
All right. You see as he just your flail hits him in his chest, and you see his eyes just nearly burns. He's just, I kill whatever I need.
Beer just spits at the ground between them.
And because of Tahina, I get disadvantage on my first roll. So thank you, Tahina, or I'm not glad. He takes his great sword and he just sort of swings over his head and strikes first time. Oh, that was lucky you. That would be a, what's my plus? That's a plus that. So that would be a 14.
He doesn't hit his armor class. I Bear just
Alright.
like steps aside very quickly.
Of course you can.
Does he
You
still
see
have his
as-
ice armor?
Yeah, until I hit him the first time.
Yay!
You see as his weapon just hits the ground, and you almost think that it's stuck, but immediately as it hits the ground, he just sweeps upwards and attack again.
Oh,
And that is a 16.
ooh, he's one short. I bounce it off my chest with the ice armor.
You see the ice on your armor just crystallize with glitter and sparkles. As he sees that, you can just see the anger in his eyes. Just, I want to be done with this, and then just take his fist and just slam himself on the chest where you just hit him. Swing his sword once again.
Oh my
3
gosh.
hits?
No, even more. That would be that's a 12, and he swings the last time,
4.
and that is a 18.
18 hits.
All right. What the hell is the damage die? There it is. Seven damage. Are you there?
Well, yeah, that's a really tough one. He doesn't go down, but he's hurting badly.
Great. You see him just smiles as hits you. Do you feel the pain?
He said not a peek from the people in the keep, right?
Yep.
Okay. So
How
just let me know when it's
far
ready.
away is Bear?
I mean, you got the wall, and you got it would be 10 feet out, and you got Bear, and then you got the Dragonborn.
So he's close. He's within 60 feet.
Yes, he's within 20 feet.
Now, for a verbal spell,
For a what?
for a verbal spell, it doesn't have to be like uber loud. She could just like be talking to someone next to her.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, Damien's going to ask Lyra to see if she can use her healing word to heal him from a distance. And he's going to use his deception to try to make it look like they're just talking.
Oh, that's sneaky.
Start rolling me a deception.
$15.
All right, he doesn't immediately hear you. Or he just doesn't react.
All right, so then she would be using her healing word. Would
All
she
right.
have to make a deception skill too, or a deception roll?
No,
Or-
just make your roll.
I'm just looking at make sure I have the spell all set up. I'm trying to find her spell casting.
That by the way, we are the Fumbles and Fame, and we are of fun. Right now, the adventurers is trying to kill the Dragonborn champion who wants to kill the best fighter in greenest. Are you there now?
Yep.
Good.
It would heal him for. I gotta roll 1d4 plus 5.
Yeah. So how much do you heal him?
8.
8. All right. As you feel the boom of this spell, you can just see the Dragonborn's eyes just narrow in, and you just fool. Just see him grab a spear from his bag and just toss it right to the chest of the teenage boy. What did I tell you? 1-on-1 combat. You see the teenage boy just falls to his knees, just dead, and you hear the mother just start crying.
Bear will scream.
But you got healed. He looks at you. You're not fair. Why should I not kill all these prisoners? It was still
I'll show you
initiative, so
not fair.
no more talking. You can just go on, or else he will have his turn.
Yeah, I'm going to, if I can, I'm going to take a swing on him.
Yeah, go for it.
I got a 10 plus 5, 15.
That's a miss. Just
Shit.
see his grin on his face. Just, oh, you and me. If I hear there again, there would be no more. And he takes his great sword, but as he takes it off to hit you, you see this bluish color from his mouth, and I will have to make you make a dexterity saving throw.
18.
Oh, that's great. You managed to sidestep, but you see from you guys seeing in the square, just right between you all, you see this lightning just crawl out of your mouth, just directly in a straight line. And he looks to you, oh, you're lucky. And he swings. Wait a second. Is that a full action or a bonus action?
Do I take half damage on that, or?
Ah, you take half damage, yes. Good, you said that.
Gotta be fair.
This is gonna hurt. How much HP do you have?
12.
All right. You're down.
So I dodge out of the way and it catches the stump of my arm and just like bursts through my body and I collapse.
As you see sort of Bear just scooping out, you see this sort of the lightning, this spring out of it catches him in the chest, and you just see Bear just starting sort of spasm and then just fall to the ground. Directly.
Damien's gonna see this and jump off the parapet and run to him.
As you do this, the four captures are sort of what's it called, released, and you just see this, and they're not standing in front of the gate anymore. You have one dead or very injured teenage boy, 2 children just lying on the ground crying, a mother over her teenage brother, her teenage son, and Bear laying on the ground with still some electricity sparkling off his chest.
face down in the mud.
face down in the mud, and smoke from this escape magic.
Would I have to
Hair
make a
straight up.
dexterity or something save from jumping from the parapet?
No, I will allow you for this.
Leo is also going to join the foray, see what she can do to help.
He's going to pull out his healer's kit and start mending Bear.
Yeah.
Leo is going to tend to the boy. Is he dead or is he just dying?
He is dying hard.
Okay. Leo's going to take her one spare potion and shove it in his mouth and try and make him drink it.
You see slowly life turn into the boy, just and he immediately start crying, and you see the brother to the brother to the mother. You see the brother, the sergeant from the, who just run out and grab the children and just hugging them and dragging them in, and as this happens, you sort of see raiders in the background. They sort of walk away, and in the horizon, the sun is slowly peeking up, and this is where we will end our session.
No, keep going.
We still have half an hour.
So
Will Bear be revived, or will he die? Find out next time.
Find out next time. So this was the game for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next time we play, our players will be level 2. And we will continue our adventure here in Hoard of the Dragon Queen. We really hope you enjoyed it. We are the Fumbles&Fame. Don't forget to tune in the weekends. We have a lot of games, and in the weekdays we have Dungeons and Dragons online. If you're not sure what days we're playing, you can go into our event log. We will keep that updated as much as possible. So till next time we see you, claim your fame. Bye everyone.